All right. Welcome back to the
Oh,
all right, cut.
No.
take two.
All right.
Welcome back to the
That's
Nymore
big
Boys podcast, episode 10,
Yeah.
double digits, boys.
Ooh.
And we have our next guest here on the show. We actually have a 2-for-1 special here. You may think he's a full-timer now, but Nick Turner is not. He's just guest back-to-back here, but he brought on some straggler off the streets.
Yeah.
Austin Nordstrom
Yeah.
or Nordy. What's up, dude?
Dude, it's crazy. I'm back. Back in Bemidji for a little bit, so.
he sounded very
He's
enthused by
he's
it.
so nervous.
Oh,
He's,
man.
he's like,
Dude,
I'm so glad to be
shaking
back.
real hard, man.
Austin, it's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
Dude, I know. No, yeah, I'm just back up for fuck. I'm back up in Bemidji for a little bit, so I don't know. Drove up with Nick. That was a 24-hour trip, so.
Long. Don't stop in
Dude,
Tennessee.
holy shit. You want to
Yeah,
talk
we
about
can get
Nashville?
into that, but
I was gonna say start out and then we'll get to the weird stuff.
before we get to that, we do have a sponsor again today.
I'm not falling for it.
Who?
Mitch, do you know who the sponsor is?
NymoreBoys.com.
That is right. Go check out nymoreboys.com. Pretty soon here, we are going to be let me think how to say it. We're going to be releasing our revamped website.
This
I put
thing
in some
looks pretty
hours
kick-ass. Yeah, it looks pretty
to make
sweet.
it look way different. So I don't know when we're going to release it. Maybe when we're in Montreal. We'll
Dude,
drop
that'd
it.
be kind of sick. Yeah.
We'll
I already
have-
bought something off there.
Yeah. Nick bought
You
a
bought-
phone case today with a design that's unreleased.
That was the first thing you bought, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nordy's got the
Yeah.
champion hoodie on today.
It's pretty sick,
representing.
pretty comfortable. Go
And
to Nymore Boys, grab you some merch. It's pretty nice.
I am currently not representing anything, which
Yeah.
is a bad look.
That is a bad look.
What are you doing, guy?
Dude, today was laundry day. So this was one of my last clean shirts that I have. This is my Capitals t-shirt that I've had for like 4 years. That's like super faded now.
Super
Aw,
faded.
Faded, dude.
Faded, dude.
And also, you guys don't see him, but we have Big C behind
He's
the
actually
camera.
the
Glorious
new
Big C
producer.
is,
He is sipping strong back there. He's got vodka and Red Bull.
Yeah, he's
absolute
getting
madman.
absolutely hammered. He's half naked right
He's
now.
working for it right now.
He's a pretty crazy man, but yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. We're up to double digits. I definitely think we've been pretty consistent, other than that 1 week we missed.
We did
And this is
miss
our-
1 week.
This is our second time we've recorded 2 in 1 week.
Yep. Because we just recorded the one with you when? Friday?
That was last Thursday night.
Thursday night? Yeah. So
And why are we doing
we are
another
on
one?
a roll. Hey,
For a
did you
couple
know
reasons.
Did you know that most podcasts end after episode 7? So we made it over the hump.
Oh,
We're cruising.
We don't hate each other yet.
that's
We are
true.
absolutely rolling.
I can pack to that one.
Yep. Packed to that one.
Hell yeah.
So, something interesting. Austin, you just got back from overseas. Why don't you tell us a little bit where you were, what you're
Oh,
doing over there?
All right. So
Tell us all the nitty gritty.
On the record.
Tell us everything that's on and
Alright.
off the record.
No.
just
okay,
really
so
get
there's
into
only
your
so
top
much I can
secret.
say, but
So we're gonna voice over and it's just gonna be a loud classified over it.
True.
No, I mean Kuwait wasn't too bad. I was out there for 6 months, so it's like, I mean, it's dry. And that's all you can really say.
But I
about
mean,
the
you were in
place.
Arizona for like a year or two.
Yeah, no, I moved out to Arizona back in like 2015.
That was our senior year.
Yeah. So I missed out enjoying moments with the boys, but you know what?
But I mean, you were kind of used to that hot, dry weather. I
Oh, that's
suppose.
right. You moved to Arizona our senior year. I forgot
Yeah,
about
dude,
that.
I missed everything, but I don't know. Kuwait wasn't too bad, dry heat and whatnot. I think it was the hottest day in the world on record. Like
What?
2 months ago. Yeah, it was.
in Kuwait.
Yeah, so in the shade,
Hottest
it was
place
like
on earth. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you okay.
yeah. So it was 126 degrees.
Oh
in the
my
shade.
God.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
dude. Like you step
Oh
outside
my.
and
Some major ball stickage or
dude,
just right
you'd
to the
sit
side
in
of your
the chair
leg
in
just
the office and
instantly.
your balls were just wet.
Big
Oh.
digging over there.
Oh,
Big
back
C.
there.
Dude,
He,
it was.
he
Uh-oh.
enjoyed that one.
We got
Enjoyed
Big
that
C
one.
absolutely gigging
Don't
back
you
there.
start up back there.
That's
It's all right, man. We'll forgive you on that one. That's your last chance, though.
That is your last chance. I'm about to kick you out of here, Big C.
Oh yeah,
No, so you're in the Air Force.
yeah,
You do telecom.
yeah.
that
So
right?
I'm in the comm squadron down in Florida at Herbie. So great place, Hurlburt Field, if you're familiar. But yeah, it ain't so bad. I'm going on my end of my third year here in about a month. So
So do you do some top secret stuff?
yeah, I do. But I can't really Get into the specifics on
We're gonna
that,
get
so.
smoked by a nuke here pretty soon, or
There's an
what's the
airstrike
deal?
inbound.
Oh.
Have you guys talked about the Area 51 raid?
Austin just called one in.
We-
Suicide Squad just absolutely mows my house down.
That's
We're
my.
actually going to
Have,
raid on off the books.
Oh,
We're going to raid Area 51.
have you guys talked about that there? What is that the game plan?
yeah.
like?
Is that on your guys' radar?
it? I
All
mean-
those stupid plebs that are gonna rush Area 51 because they think that they're gonna get
Dude,
through.
Blink
They're gonna get
once.
absolutely mowed.
Blink once if you if they're gonna drone strike everyone.
Those guys are so done.
Dude, I don't know. We'll
It's
see what
kind of
happens.
dry in here. He just blinked. It wasn't.
No, I'm just big blink.
That's
over
so
here
funny.
today, so it's
But did
okay.
you see that has like 750,000 people signed up to go?
It's like a meme now.
I can't. I don't.
and they're
know
just
what
putting
they're
out
doing.
their plans on
the
Twitter.
The news lines though are people are going to rush Area 51 in quotes.
They
Let's
can't
see
stop
them
those.
aliens. Quote, unquote.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
like-
ones where it's like me coming back or like me leaving Area 51 with my alien, and it's like some old ass Halo game on like a machine gunner on like a 4-wheeler, and like I don't know, it's just
Oh yeah, they
retarded.
have like what is it?
yeah,
A needle
there's-
gun from Halo. And,
Yeah.
There's so many memes out. It's so funny.
These are what the
I
weapons are gonna be
did you
like.
see
when
I
pick a
tweeted one.
Yeah,
What aliens are actually
Oh,
doing
and
at
it was
Area
that alien
51?
twerking.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
twerking.
dude, I love those. I don't know how it is, but memes, just how they start and how popular they can get so quick is absolutely just like
that's how
stupid.
That's how Old Town Road got popular, is because Lil Nas X just kept making a bunch of memes about a song, and then it just caught on and blew up.
Yeah, and
now
now he's on.
he's the 6th most listened to creator on Spotify because of that one song.
And this dude just came out with another remix of
With
Mason Ramsey and
Mason
Young Thug.
Ramsey, the little yodel kid.
Oh no,
Oh gosh.
dude, he's
You
come
see him
so
actually
far.
tearing into Lil Nas on Twitter the other day?
Who? Mason Ramsey?
Yeah.
What do you
That low
say?
guy?
He just kept saying like one of his tweets I saw was like, the year is 2035. I live on a ranch with a wife and 4 kids. Meanwhile, Lil Nas X is still releasing Old Town Road remixes.
Dude, he's
He's just absolutely tearing into him.
that kid, dude. And he actually started from a meme too,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
because he was
Well,
the Yodel kid meme in the.
In the Walmart.
Well, yeah.
That's how we
true.
got. That's
Yeah,
how everyone
that's
picked
true.
up on him.
Yeah, because I guess his memes were everywhere.
So he can't throw shade like that.
And people made like remixes of him on like SoundCloud. They're like
yeah.
EDM. Like,
there,
just-
there was some that was
versus
actually
that.
really funny.
Yeah, no, dude. And there was one where he came out and the song was actually low key fire, but it's like I want to be famous, or if I'm gonna be famous for something, and it's it's pretty fire. I'm gonna keep it at that. I don't remember the lyrics. I've only listened like once, but
It's
good.
good. Go check it out on
You
Spotify.
really had to reiterate that you listened to it only one time.
yeah. Well, I'm not saying like, dude, that's on my like getting huge playlist in the gym, or I don't know. I've like heard the song
Some
once.
Mason Ramsey
Swole.
just in the
He
back.
just
Actually, I
Mitch
think I
just
heard on
listens
Twitter.
to Mason Ramsey just all day, every day. It's his favorite.
Dude,
favorite artist.
that's my favorite artist in the game right now.
Okay, so how do we
Before I
get
forget, make sure to follow
Yeah.
us on all social medias. It's Nymore Boys across the board. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, what are you doing? It's lit.
What are you doing?
When
What are
we
you
go
doing,
to-
Big?
I'm subscribed. I just looked at the viewers saying you got to subscribe.
Big C, are you subscribed to us on YouTube?
He's the guy
Thank
that
you. You're
not
dislikes
just
all of our
saying
videos.
that,
Yeah,
are you?
he's the one.
That's
Ooh, day
Big
one.
C.
All right.
Big C's fake name is John Lope,
Yep.
and he just comments like hate on our things.
All right, that obviously means something. I don't get it, but
It's
Big
a
C's
long
just a
story.
Smurf
So
account.
me and Big
Oh,
C
no.
know about it.
Hey,
True.
what do you-
Yeah.
Big
oh,
C
thank
did
you.
shout us out on his YouTube
Big C,
channel.
I can
so
help you out on my
thank you.
personal channel with 2 subscribers. I'll put
Yeah.
you on there.
there it is. So Tyler, did you want to loop back around to what we were getting into with Austin before the meme?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Before the Area 51 raid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Austin's in the Air Force. He's the one who controls all the nukes. So, don't get him upset because he will absolutely mow your house down.
Could you imagine? In his like little house that he owns, he has just the red button.
Yep.
Just
And
that
no one,
easy
no one
button,
suspects it.
Oh, man.
He just gets
On the button.
absolutely hammered one night and accidentally hits it.
He loses a bunch of money
Dude.
gambling. And he gets pissed off and he
no.
presses
Oh
it.
no.
Goes home and presses the red button, and then all of a sudden the whole United States is just wiped off the face of the earth.
Except me.
Yeah, Mitch goes down in his
Yeah.
bunker.
I'm like
Big
a
C, do
cockroach.
you have a bunker? No.
Don't disclose it. Government will track you down.
Go
If you guys
find
want, come check out the Nymore Boys official bunker
Yep.
under construction in the year 4 years from now.
So where
God,
that
that'd be
is
sick.
Tyler's
Build-
personal address.
Alright.
You want to give that out, Tyler?
Build a podcast studio in a bunker.
This is pretty much a
Stupid.
bunker right
That'd be
here.
so funny.
We're like shooting, and it's like, wow, and we just got nuked, but it's okay. We are gonna keep recording
Yeah,
here.
All of a
we're,
sudden
like,
the-
transmitting to nobody.
all of a
but-
sudden the camera just shakes and we're like, oh, we just got nuked, but we're still putting out those podcasts.
We have a ration of like a 6 month supply in there. And we turn around, Bixie somehow got in there, and he's like eating everything. we're like,
oh,
Big
Big
C.
C's mad.
what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. I came down here and I was hungry.
so
Plus, I want to
okay.
kill you guys. So,
So we
eat all your.
got, we got off on a tangent again about nukes and stuff.
Okay, sorry. All right, going back.
Yeah.
Go rewinding to
Alright.
Austin, who,
Austin's time is very valuable.
for the record,
alright.
does not have nukes.
No.
Don't believe it.
No.
Don't believe everything you hear on the internet, especially when it
Look at
comes
him
from
looking
us.
at me. I
Dude,
feel like he's got something up his
he's like,
sleeve.
Oh no.
I don't want
FBI's coming right
the
now.
FBI
dude.
is on to me for
Dude, we
something.
got 22 minutes before they're storming at your door.
Oh
so
shit!
just saying.
Big C,
Oh.
go up there. You can fight him.
Block the doorway.
We'll know they're here when you start screaming because the tear gas is in the window.
Uh,
Smoke.
Yeah.
hmm.
But I don't know. I was out in Kuwait for 6 months. Not too bad. It was me and one other comm guy out there supporting a squadron. So,
So when you say squadron, how many people are in this squadron?
oh, should I be specific on that or no?
Just give us
No.
an estimate.
Double digits? Is it like?
No.
Like, is it Navy? Like, what is it? Team?
We're talking close to double, but
Team
Oh,
10
so
I
it's-
status.
figure like 6 or 8. I mean, he
Oh,
doesn't have to
so-
confirm
no,
it.
no. Like, so usually this is Air Force General kind of stuff. I mean, a squadron like for us back
You're
at
fine.
home, because I can say that it's about like 80 people or so.
Okay.
So,
So 2 comm guys, and you're in charge of what? Like in the squadron? Like,
so
Like, do you control half and they control half, or like you guys
no,
get your own?
so because I was the only administrator out there, basically I had elevated rights to do certain things. I know I'll be more generic with it, but
It's fine.
oh, so he's the boss.
There was this guy that I talked to. He was at one of the ranks, and he was like a beer league goalie, but he used to serve in the army, and he wanted to be a Green Beret like so bad. But I think it was because he lived in Colorado, or it was something like that, where they didn't fund a Green Beret at the time, or it was some reason like he trained and he was completely like able to do it, but it was something with like the government in that state not being able to like help him become a Green Beret. But he told me about like there's like JTAC, which is like Air
Okay.
Force, and like all what their job is, and it was like super interesting, super cool. What he was like saying, he's
Yeah.
like, dude, like I've seen guys get their like legs blown off from like
Oh, did
like
you see anything
IEDs.
like that? Anything crazy?
You know, I saw some things over there.
Well, give us some detail here.
All right.
or is that can you not is that one thing you not give detail on?
Be very
I'll be cautious.
Dude,
with it.
if
Well,
you're
you
if
can
you're
just
not
be-
comfortable talking about it, like you don't have to. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
I'll be
gonna
cautious.
force
I'm
it.
just interested because I
So,
don't know
okay.
anybody that's ever gone overseas. So
Yeah, so essentially there was one night, there was a mission going on, right?
mm-hmm.
We do a lot of missions over
Make sure
there.
you're talking into the
Oh,
mic.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So we're doing a lot of missions and everything, but what happened was we were in our little intel room and we were watching some drone footage,
Oh,
which was pretty
some
interesting.
AC-130 inbound.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're seeing, like, this is one quick story that I can share. It's like we had these drones surrounding this camp, a terrorist camp, right?
Oh,
And we were waiting on a guy to come out, and because he was like a leader for ISIS, so which was some crazy stuff.
holy.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say that, but I think it's okay.
Dude. Or no, keep talking.
Well, you
I'm
know
not
that
a leader of
everybody
ISIS,
knows.
but-
just come out as
Yeah.
classified.
Everyone knows.
Everybody-
I mean, everyone knows
Yeah.
what ISIS is, and like
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
knows
we
what ISIS
understand
is.
it, so it's not like
Yeah, so essentially, like, we were just watching them for like 3 hours because all that stuff. It's not quick. It takes a while, but we watched our drone attack them, and they dropped a nuke on their little facility that they had. It was like a small tent. But dude, we're pretty sure
Just
there
drop
was
a nuke on just
who would
one
win
little
a
tent.
tent or a
Dude,
nuke?
No, it wasn't a nuke, but you know what I mean.
It was
like,
probably an airstrike. I don't know.
yeah.
something like
So I mean, you saw like napalm being thrown. It was nuts.
that.
Jeez.
Wait, napalm?
Like I don't know, what would you call that? Like just a beret or like a
Just an airstrike.
I don't know why you're
Airstrike,
asking
just
me. Aren't you
multiple-
the one that's hitting the buttons? You should know what you're shooting.
I'm not hitting any
Yeah, he doesn't. He
buttons.
doesn't hit shit.
Dude, no, I'm just
Not
sitting back
necessarily that you're
watching.
dropping nukes because they're not using that, but
Dude, just some
I think you're
some
talking
massive
about maybe
warheads.
like some debris.
Because
that got
I don't think you can
blown,
use
yeah.
napalm anymore, can you?
Yeah,
It's- I think it's classified
like
as
a-
not being
a-
really ethical. Because
Yeah.
what it is, if you're not familiar, like in World War II, like a flamethrower,
They use it a
Or
lot in
napalm.
Vietnam
Is it-
too.
It's hardly picking up your voice, just so you
I
know.
thought we fixed that.
No, you
on
gotta
this
talk.
one.
You gotta talk into the mic.
It's
Into the
directional.
top.
You got sideways head ass.
Yeah.
Head ass.
This
there
one
we
you
go.
can talk
There we
sideways.
go.
Oh, okay.
It's still picking up. Anyway, I'll do it
Barely.
regular because I guess I have to conform. Anyway, the way that napalm worked is the way that they formulated it. It was like a jelly, and it would.
Sticks to you.
It sticks to
And it
you, and then
burns.
as soon as it ignites, I mean, you cannot get it off you.
Huh.
So most of the time, like in World War II, when people got hit with like a
shutout
flamethrower,
napalm,
or
right?
they saw a flamethrower, most of them would jump out of the trench or get up, and most of them died by gun bullets, not the actual
Huh.
flamethrower itself. It was more of a fear weapon.
And didn't
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
try to shoot the tank sometimes too? To, like,
You're
yeah, they
really
mount-
big into World War II, though, aren't you?
I'm a big
Oh, yeah.
World War II. I like to study it. They did mount flamethrowers on tanks too,
Yeah.
and they would. Well, obviously that was more over in the Japanese or the Pacific theater. They did that, and they would fight, to death. But otherwise, most of the time, if they were scared, they would just get up and surrender because there's no way you can beat that.
But
Right.
wouldn't they just kill themselves before they surrender? Because
They
don't
would.
Japanese
I
do
think
that?
they would rather. They would either kill themselves, otherwise they would just die. Trying to attack them. But
yeah.
A lot of that stuff is a lot more psychological.
Mm-hmm.
But in today's modern warfare, like a lot of that stuff, they didn't know that they were doing that. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just like that most of the
Yeah.
time.
So
But probably, I guess, looping back around is you're mostly talking about maybe debris.
it's just an airstrike. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just multiple bombs or whatever hitting the ground.
Mhm.
Just surrounding
Huh.
the area. As much collateral damage as they could possibly.
So it looks like when you look up the airstrike videos on YouTube, that's basically what you're looking at.
Yeah, that's essentially what
Dang.
it is.
This is
That's
a
kinda
question.
cool.
This is a question I was actually thinking of on the way here because I was thinking about like some questions I want to ask. And again, let me know of stuff you can't answer.
Yeah, yeah.
But you started in the military, right? I think as Trump was running and he got elected.
Yeah.
And then obviously you were out
Well,
there.
because he
and
got
stationed.
elected. He got elected 2016.
After
and then
our
got
the year-
inaugurated
yeah, the
in
year we got-
2017.
So
That's right.
my main
Early.
question is, did you or do you notice an actual decline in ISIS? Because I try to look up articles on it, and it's from people like CNN that say like, oh, he hasn't really done shit against ISIS, but that's like CNN. So I'm like,
So I do know
And
the
not that
answer.
we're
Have you noticed a
biased
decline?
against any news
Or
networks
can-
There,
here.
there is a
You're not set.
decline, but I can't say.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
okay, do you actually see like a decline in that, or is like,
Yeah.
is he full of shit? Is CNN full of shit? Like, I want to know like who's full of shit.
Honestly, the news doesn't really relay that so
That's what I'm saying.
so
like,
accurately.
yeah.
More or less.
We
but
talked about this in the car on our way back. Is ISIS? They used to hold a city, and I can't remember what the name of that city was, but that was kind of their central hub.
Yeah.
And then when they took
Was
when
that in
the-
Iraq
no,
or Iran? I mean.
like I said, I can't remember the city, but they held the city and then they lost it. So now it's a lot more like cells, I think it is. They're split up. They're kind of like fragmented right now.
Huh.
And I think that's what their biggest thing is.
Yeah.
But
It's
Well,
crazy, man.
dang.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious because like I want to like kind of.
I mean,
Get an
the
idea.
history of it all is interesting. How ISIS formulated and stuff, but like their current operations are a little hard to talk about. Essentially,
For sure.
But
Is that something like did they like teach you like when you got into the Air Force? Did they kind of like not sit down classes, but did they kind of like tell you, all right, this is how they started? Like, don't listen to what the news has to say. This is how they started.
we never had a sit down briefing like that.
So basically,
just
all
talk to
they-
other guys.
All they said was basically find him, kill him.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole
Interesting.
mission.
That's crazy,
But
dude.
I mean, kind of backing off all that. This camp that we were surrounding, though, I just kind of want to wrap that up
Yeah.
quick.
Okay.
So there was a horse that was tied up outside.
Oh
It
no.
was just on the outskirts of the explosion, and I'm pretty sure he got hit with shrapnel, but like he was still bucking when the drones left. It's like he was just tied up, just couldn't do anything. So I don't know,
Dang.
either until some
Some
ISIS
PETA's coming after you.
reinforcements came in to, grab him and take him off, but he was just chilling there for like 4 or 5 hours at that point. Just
Jeez.
couldn't really do much.
Dude,
but-
that sucks, man. Like just like some random horse that like is just chilling. I mean, it's
So,
how it goes.
I don't know
yeah.
how much you can say about this, but like, where you sit when you see the drones, are they like a long ways away from you?
They fly pretty
Sometimes-
high up. Eh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're in Kuwait City, or we're outside of Kuwait City.
Uh-huh.
That's where Ali Al Salim is. But it's we're far away. We're pretty far away from like
Huh.
the actual action.
And then
That's kinda cool.
how were you? How long were you in Kuwait for?
6 months.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Dude, I know. Honestly, though, the 6 months for me went by pretty fast. But for people back at home, that are waiting on me, for them it was a stretch.
And how was? Because I get how you feel a little bit on it,
Yeah.
but not to that, to that size of you being literally across the ocean. Was it like? How was it like with you and like your, your lover?
Uh-oh.
Like, was that like
oh,
difficult,
no.
or was it like, oh, it went by faster than
like
you thought?
so like on any relationship, distance is always tough, regardless. But I mean, without getting into like the nitty gritty of stuff, I mean, it was rough. We're newly married and stuff, so
I still can't believe that
It's
you're
crazy,
married.
man.
yeah, I know,
Just absolutely floors me.
I know. But the military is
Well, and I
a
didn't even
whole
know
different-
that you had
Yeah.
gotten married, and then it was either you or somebody had told me, "Oh yeah, Austin's wife." I'm like, "Wait, what?
Yeah, it's
Just
crazy.
Austin's
completely
wife?"
caught you
Yeah,
off
they
guard.
got
Yeah, I was like, what?
they got married. I'm like, when?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm very impulsive. I mean, that's why.
But I mean, also
So I
part of
drop
the
almost
reason,
$30,000 on a car. So
part of the reason too, right? Was I mean, you get some more benefits too from the military.
yeah, I mean,
If
the
you're- if
military is
you're
very
technically
compensating.
married,
Yeah,
Like, if it's like if she's
no, we're good there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
if she's like your girlfriend compared to like your wife, like you get more benefits as to her being your
Yeah,
wife.
so I mean, being married, there's a lot of benefits that do
That
go
goes-
Well,
with
it's
it.
just like if you're in college, if you're married, you get more benefits.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I just figured, that might be like
it just depends on
something.
what organization or the government provides. So
Hmm.
yeah, but nonetheless, it was difficult. But I'm back, so everything's kind of smoothing out, getting back to normal. So
Yeah, because like I was only like compared to you, I was only like halfway across the country, so like it wasn't like as crazy. Thinking of like you're in a new day while it's still like nighttime here.
yeah, you were in Pennsylvania, right? No,
That was a couple years ago. I
Oh,
was
shoot,
in
okay.
I was in SoCal last year.
Oh,
no,
shoot,
but you went to
nice.
Pennsylvania. You were single then.
Yeah, I was single. That was a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that was only 2-hour difference, so like that's tiny compared to like what you had
Yeah.
to deal with. I mean, but she was in the East Coast, so at least it wasn't like
You're talking about Katie, right?
no, you like you're a wife.
yeah,
at least
no,
she was in.
Situation.
Yeah, no,
She was on the East Coast, so it's
Yeah.
not like she was like in Washington or like West Coast, like
Gotcha.
extra hours tacked on. So like,
What
How-
was the
what-
time difference
yeah.
from here to Kuwait?
About 9 hours. So
Oh, not as bad as.
yeah, that's
I
not as
thought-
bad as I thought.
yeah.
But still, I mean, like I said, if you
So
tack
how long
on-
was the plane ride there?
So the plane ride, that was a stretch. I think we spent about 36 hours traveling.
Jeez, because I think
But,
Nick said that you had a layover in London.
No. So we
Oh.
had a layover in Ireland.
Oh,
So-
That's
did
kinda
you go?
sick.
Did you have
Yeah.
enough time to go explore, or was it a
No,
pretty
you
so
gotta
it
stay in the
was-
airport, eh?
So on the way back, since I turned 21 downrange, I came back and had some brews. I had a Guinness.
Could you
which-
not drink on the base?
No, it's a dry country. So Kuwait's a dry country. You can't. Alcohol's not allowed. They were trying for so long with the Kuwaiti government to get alcohol out there, but they were
Dang.
like, no, it's not going to happen. So
I was gonna
Didn't
ask
ha-
really quick.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not to interrupt.
no, you're good.
I was gonna say, how was your what was your reaction to culture shock out there? How was that?
It's not as strict as I thought it was. So I thought, because I went off base one time, and because
You only went off base once in 6 months.
I'm sure there's
I'm
everything
sorry,
you need though
twice,
at the
twice.
base though.
yeah, because
Are these bases like pretty huge?
they're decent size.
Yeah.
I mean, they're about the size of like,
We should like the
Kirby.
size of like a campus maybe, or like the size of like
yeah, maybe a little bit larger than that. 'Cause, I
Damn,
mean, you have
okay.
to consider like
everything.
the flight
That's
line and all
inclusion
that
of an
stuff too.
airfield
So
Yeah.
Damn,
exactly.
Okay,
Proper.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I went off base twice, excuse me, and went to Kuwait City, just explore the area and whatnot, because Kuwait's a friendly country. I mean, obviously there's a reason why we're there. So, but yeah, no, like the dress code as far as like their culture goes, you have some people that are dressed head to toe, only showing eyes,
Yeah.
which is fine. But then there are some other people, just depending on their culture or their preference, I guess. They're in shorts, shirt, all that
So is
kind
it
of
like a
stuff.
desert type climate over there?
Yeah, it's
Like
think
Dubai.
about like the
Like
middle of Arizona, like
But he was 120 when he was there.
well, I
it was
know,
120 most days there.
Yeah.
but I mean, it could be that hot with
Yeah.
plants. Obviously not grass. I don't think. but-
Yeah, grass is hard to find
Yeah.
out there.
But- Huh.
dude, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I was gonna ask something and now I forgot.
Okay, well, you think of it. Were you like, when you were in Kuwait City, or if you were kind of, I mean, were you usually by yourself, or were you like some buddies, or?
I mean, I made some friends out there. Shout out to Jordan and Ariel.
Jordan
So-
Godbold, if you're listening, shout out to you.
Oh, no.
Wrong one.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask. Do you still talk to Joey?
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you mention him because he was having, he's, doing really well. He's in the Marines right now.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because I knew he was in some form. I see it on a Snap story,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if he was still in the States or if he's overseas somewhere.
I don't know where he's at right now, but he's going through and getting like his TS and everything, so his top secret clearance, and so there's an investigation that follows suit with that. But
So like do a
I'm-
background check and stuff like.
yeah, so
Does
I
it
got
do they interrogate you?
yeah, this is all public information.
Shout
so,
out
Do they
Joey.
interrogate you?
Yeah,
Thank you for your
like his
service.
investigator hit me up and was like, "Hey, so I heard you were friends with Joey for some time," and was like, "Yeah, do you need me to sit down with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, let me just come over to your house." And it was like, "Okay, sure." So like, shows up the next day. I was there for like 7 minutes, asking me some
Dang,
stuff.
really? Is
So,
that
like, you
because
flew there or what?
is that because
Huh?
you're
You flew
also
there?
No, so yeah, there's a reason why a TS investigation is so expensive. It's about $90,000 to get it, which is
you
yeah.
have to pay that?
No, the Air Force pays for that, obviously. But
Holy,
yeah,
it's a lot for an investigation.
that's why it's so like, looked upon on the outside. So like, if I left the military and got a civilian job, that requires my TS, that's big pay there. I mean,
Right.
6
So that
digits at
stays with you
least.
forever, or do you have to renew it?
You renew it every 5 years, I believe.
So then- If you after the investigation, if you go to renew it, is it still $90,000 to renew it?
no. So actually, the initial investigation is hefty. It's a hefty fee, but after that, whichever company you're with, they'll pay for that. So, and I think it's like $10,000 at that point. So,
Still a little hefty, but
That's still quite the payment.
yeah, it's a lot, but
so what else? I'm trying to think of like just interesting things I
I
can
know.
ask. So did that guy fly to your house?
So I mean, he travels the country and stuff, but he was in Fort Walton at the time because he knew he wanted to speak with me. So he planned that ahead of time and
Wait,
flew to Fort Walton.
so there's Camp Ripley
Or Camp Ripley.
Camp
Yeah.
Ripley's in Little
The-
Falls,
in-
Minnesota.
in Little Falls. What is
Yeah.
that? What base is that?
Oh, Fort Walton Beach is just the town that surrounds it. It's not an actual base.
Ripley.
Ripley. There's a
Camp
base
Ripley-
there.
Oh,
He's
shoot, we're on
never-
that?
I was gonna say you've never been to Camp.
No,
Ripley.
I've never been to
That's
Camp
Army
But do you
though,
know?
right?
Is it Army?
It's Army and National Guard there.
Nick has
Okay.
more essay on that than I do.
Okay.
So by the way, if you haven't mentioned what's SA?
Essay is situational awareness. I mean, that's just there's a lot of acronyms inside of the Air Force.
No, I mean
so-
I get that, but it's just funny like someone trying to listen like that's SA. What the fuck does that even
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Like,
yeah, it's just 2 letters, but
Have you flown in any of the jets?
yeah, I have.
Oh my
It's
god.
pretty cool. I'm not
That's-
gonna
Did
lie.
you get knocked out with all the G-force?
No, so I'm not talking like F-22s, but I'm talking like the AC-130. I've been in there.
What?
You've been in an
So-
AC-130.
No.
That's
So,
so
actually, I
sick.
went on a TDY, which is just a short deployment essentially. But I went to Nellis Air Force Base, which is near Vegas, and I went to the Vegas Strip for a couple days. I was out there for 17 days. That was November of 2017. So
Dang.
yeah, but we took.
And you flew there in an AC-130?
yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, we're literally just on a bench inside, just sitting there for like 6 hours. And,
Oh.
you
Could you see out?
there's like tiny little windows, but no. you
So
can't
it's
really
really-
see out.
You're literally
Dang.
looking at the guys across from you.
is it
Yeah,
is
that's
it not
about
as
it.
glamorous as you think?
No, not at all.
Dang.
not
No,
like
it was an
you're-
AC-130 or was it a C-130?
No, it's an AC-130.
Dang. All I can think about is COD.
Dude,
C-130 inbound.
Raining down hell.
dude, no, they're fun. I mean, they're slow flying planes though, so that's why it took so long. But
Jeez.
I'm sure you saw some.
Were they pretty loud? Like, did you have to wear some like earmuffs and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah,
in there?
you needed earmuffs.
Did
you needed
you-
something?
Did you see some pretty fun toys in the military?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure you can. You know what I'm talking about, like.
Wait, are you
like
guys? You guys have
toys,
like
eh?
what are the planes that they developed at Area 51 that look like a bat almost? Like they look like the Batmobile.
Stealth bombers?
Is that what they are?
A B-2 stealth bomber.
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
B-2
black.
stealth
They look
bombers, yeah.
wild.
Nick is
They
some
look like
good
a
knowledge on
like
that.
a triangle.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
at the back they've got like the
Yeah,
It's
we
like the
saw one of
Batman
those.
logo.
Yeah, we saw one of those actually. We were coming up.
Yeah, when we came
On a
back, I
trip.
asked Austin, I'm like, I gotta stop and look at the Air Force Base Museum and then all these plans.
But did you you saw him at your base and stuff?
No, we don't have any of those at our base.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we have. So there's an air park on Hurlburt Field, and it's got some. This wasn't at Herbie, but it was a near Herbie that we
Yeah.
went to.
Yep.
But essentially, they have an air park with retired Air Force planes and stuff on there.
dang.
And that's what I was talking about. But going off of what Tyler said, so most of the time when you guys were on base, was it mostly the Predators, the drones that were on the tarmac?
So, are we talking about Kuwait?
Out and over in Kuwait. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we operated on 2 different planes. So the AC-130s, we had a couple of those, and then we saw some drones, but we didn't operate on those specifically. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've seen some of those drones, like so they're
Yeah,
the
we've
white
seen 'em.
ones, those like
Yeah.
white things you see on TV. Are they huge? Because they look
I
pretty
think they're
small.
bigger than you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger than
I
you
was gonna
think.
say when I think about it, they're about the length and I guess if you like a sedan almost, and then the wingspan too. Obviously is over
They're
that way.
they're
Are they a
longer
lot-
than that.
They're longer than that.
Yeah, they're like
Like half a
For
bus.
some reason, I was gonna say I thought
A
they
bus?
were-
Dang.
no, the drones. They're like 2 bus lengths. I mean,
Holy, those
Whoa.
white
They're-
things you see on TV?
they're big. Yeah, they're
Holy
not
cow.
small.
I thought they were a little bit smaller than that. Maybe like half of like a car length.
Because
or
I was
bus
thinking
length,
like bus
yeah.
length.
No,
yeah.
no, they're not that small. I mean, they're the size of like an actual plane, like a smaller plane.
Holy
Dang.
cow.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's
we'd
way
see
up.
those things. I never got
Right.
super close to
Holy.
them, but I'd see them coming on to the base.
And that's
just
what you would
landing.
that's what you would like monitor, kind of,
Yeah. So we had cameras set up on those, and then we had
Dang.
footage on
because
some
they're
of the
completely
AC-130s.
unmanned, right?
Yeah, they're. I mean,
Just like
yeah,
flying a RC drone.
exactly,
kinda.
dude. It's crazy.
Dang.
When they say that you're flying those and you could be half a world away, they're not kidding.
No, yeah.
I heard somebody saying that there's people that work at some bases, like, because doesn't North Dakota have a pretty big Air Force base, or like,
Yeah, you got Minot up there. Minot,
or yeah,
North
Minot
Dakota.
has a big base, and I don't know if you can tell me this or not, but I've heard that the Air Force or the base near Grand Forks has nukes.
I don't even know.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang it!
They're
Wanted to
undisclosed
know.
locations, but I'm sure there are tons
Well,
of
because
nukes and silos.
It's like
all
the
over
most like
United States.
centralized. Like if you look at the way that North America is with the United States and Canada,
Yeah.
Grand Forks is like the most centrally located, and it's like the farthest away for a nuke to hit like an enemy. I don't know. This
Yeah.
could all just be a bunch of bullshit that somebody fed me, but
We're
It
being-
sounded
we're
right.
just shooting
Reddit
the
shows
shit
a lot.
right
That could
now.
make sense.
Yeah.
right.
That could make
Well,
sense, yeah.
I don't know. That's just
I was
what I
gonna
heard.
say, I think
Shoot.
a lot of our resources are obviously we have defenses here at home, but a lot of that stuff's probably located more on the coast and
I would
up in
figure,
Alaska
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, nothing. And then
Well, because no, okay. I think it was a guy who came down when I worked in Fargo, and he was stationed at that one around Grand Forks area,
Yeah.
and he had said something like that. So I don't know if it was true or not. He could have just been feeding me total bullshit,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
oh,
Okay,
all right.
Big C,
Big C's
let's-
got a
Press
question.
has a question.
So
Big C
drones
asked
are
how
on
many
service.
are
oh, when
yeah,
it
in
comes to
service.
numbers,
Can't say.
yeah, I can't really talk about numbers so much because
Can you
I
give us like
just-
a rough estimate, like more than 10?
sure, we'll say more than 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question,
Interesting.
Big?
I'll
Cool.
talk more off the record though.
Yeah, we'll get him off the record.
Yeah.
We
Ta-
may or may
Todd me
not be
up.
talking off the record.
Yeah, we won't be
FBI,
talking
we're
off the
totally
record.
law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I mean, depending on like the type of drone, there's surveillance drones. and
It's
some
not
of them are-
peaking. It's not picking up Big C's voice, but
No, it
he
won't.
asked runtime on these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's what that-
It's got to be
So-
24/7. I wouldn't see like, this time like there's no drones. Like I'm sure.
Are
it's
they
all-
gas powered,
Shoot, I mean,
or you don't know?
jet fuel.
I
more
mean,
than
yeah,
likely,
I was gonna
Dang.
say jet some
They
sort
got
of.
jet engines on
yeah.
them.
So like
Fuel
when
is
you
so
fly them,
expensive.
do you have to fly them into some like base for them to fuel up? Like you're flying those things the whole time?
No, I'm not flying them specifically, but the Air Force, they're
There's
They go
people that
up-
just sit there with like a Joy-Con.
yeah.
Like
So
a
those are
joystick
called
and
RPAs. They're actually enlisted pilots, or I think they're getting towards to be enlisted pilots.
I was
But
gonna say because they're moving away from obviously what.
Why do you always talk on the side of the mic?
Because I want.
God,
to.
you make me mad.
because he's rapping.
Thank
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it
Oh,
still,
hey.
Is it still picking me up?
Hey, since last time I saw you, okay, this
Yeah.
is going way off what we were
All
talking
right.
about. So at the Northern Lights Casino in Walker, they had a old school, like kicking it old school, like rap show
Mhm.
on Saturday. Do you guys know who Flavor Flav is?
Yeah.
He used to wear those big ass clocks around his
I
neck.
heard about this. Amble
No.
told me.
You don't know?
You
like,
never heard of Flavor
on,
Flav?
on
No.
MTV?
Old ass
Flavor
rapper.
Flav, like you'd see him on MTV. He'd have those big clocks around his neck. He was the guy who always had like those crazy clocks.
Shoot, no, I'm dumb as a rock.
Okay. Anyways, so he was performing there last Saturday, and Jake and I were at the casino the night before, and all of a sudden he sits down at the blackjack table right next to us, buys in for like $400,
Jeez, okay.
and he had like a JBL hat on sideways and like some sunglasses, trying to be like undercover.
Yeah.
It didn't work because then the pit boss like got his ID and looked him up, and she came over to our table and she's like, "Yeah, that's Flavor Flav." Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's crazy.
Wow.
He
So
was.
you see what happens when I hold my mic sideways? So stop giving me shit for it.
What do you mean?
It
I'm
obviously
speaking
brought
right
that
into my mic.
But I'm saying it just brought that
Do you-
story up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, I
But
want to
anyways,
get back
you're
to
welcome.
some more military.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
sorry, I
sure.
just thought of that.
So
We'll get
were
back
you-
to military.
So when you were, it sounds like so dumb that I'm even asking like these questions. I feel like they're dumb questions, but like you were like, is everyone armed on the base, or you just kind of walk around like an idiot?
So, being in the Middle East, it depends on your location, obviously. But at the base that I was at, I wasn't required to carry a pistol.
you weren't
or-
required to, but you
if you
could
went off
wanted.
base, did you have to?
No, definitely not off base. Definitely
Oh.
not off base. We
Oh.
were not allowed to be in uniform off base.
Oh, so you just have to dress like a civilian?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, so nobody even knew that you were in the military
yeah. I mean, people have their speculation, but
because you're just some random white guy over there.
yeah,
or-
exactly.
I mean, he's kind of brown.
Kinda-
he's kind of
True.
brown.
Kinda
It'd be
brown.
different if I was out there because I stay the same complexion no matter if I sit in the sun for 10 years.
Or
I'll
me,
still-
like I'm
terrible.
white and blonde, like boy.
blue eyes. Yeah.
Very Scandinavian.
So you know what that
yeah.
means. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
but yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I was just
no.
kind of curious. I'm like, because in the movies, like they have them like walking around in uniform and stuff with like
Yeah.
weapons and stuff. So like I wasn't sure if that's
Yeah, I mean, if you're
depends on where you are, I guess.
Exactly. So we have a few bases over there, obviously, but for the most part, our base you weren't required to. But there was a base that I was at where everybody around there, had to have like a 9mm or like a saw or something on them. So
Dang.
yeah.
Did you see any like P90s or AKs or
Yeah,
No.
like any fun
Crazy
toys
guns, like
like
some
that.
No,
cool
I didn't
guns?
see any P90s or
Oh,
AKs.
damn it.
I've shot off those before though. They're
Really?
fun.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you've seen them.
Well,
Do the-
not
do the
not down
P9
there,
Do
but
the P90s actually shoot as fast as like they do in video games?
these weren't automatic. They were semi-auto.
That's
Oh,
bullshit,
that
dude.
is-
yeah, tell me about it.
Talk-
Did you
talk
get to
about
see
a-
like those big drum?
That's a boner killer.
Yeah, that is.
The P90s though, those are they're a personal defense weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Are they
they're
pretty
not.
small?
Yeah,
I've heard they're pretty small
They're
guns.
really
Compact.
compact. They're
Yeah.
super compact.
I don't know who created it. It's some
Heckler and Koch.
I was gonna say the
H&K?
not the Swedes.
It's
Not
yeah,
gonna
it's
tell ya.
Swedes. It's H&K. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. And then what is it? Private security guards use them most of
Shoot.
the time.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like it's
Oh.
like the company that made like the
Really?
Yeah, it's that same company. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Dang.
Believe
Doesn't
it.
HKS, don't they make rims for cars?
I think you're
Or
thinking
my-
of someone
That's
different.
Or by,
That's
like-
the forefront is their rims, but then in the back,
Yeah.
they're selling
Or
guns.
black market, they're just making all these guns for the military.
Should I
Oh,
get some new
shoot.
rims for my car? Just attach like a machine gun.
Oh, so speaking of P90s,
Austin gets the bullet like caps for him.
Oh, dude.
So speaking of umps and P90s, Tyler told me this day. Shout out Matt Hanchen.
Yeah,
You know,
Matt Hanchen.
Oh, yeah.
Scout and mid is what I do, and you guys can harp
Oh,
on me
man.
for that.
Yeah, we were talking about that today. I did mention it when I first saw Nick this morning, and he got super defensive about it.
Okay, I got a little tilt, and then I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
So if
So-
anybody doesn't know what we're talking
Yeah.
about, we're talking about a game called
CS:GO.
Counter-Strike.
Yeah, we talked about this last podcast.
Gosh, we go way back.
Because that's how we originally all started hanging out, was because of that game.
Yeah.
Like, we used to put in some hours.
Do you still have your PC?
Yeah. No, I built a
He
new
just
PC.
built a
Built
brand new one.
computer.
And we
Another
haven't played
one.
any games on it.
Dude, no.
I just got back in the
got
States like a
back,
week
dude.
ago.
Yeah.
And we still haven't played any games on
Yeah.
it.
Okay, you're right. But you know what? We'll play some games when I get back to the
Counter
house.
Strike, boy.
Oh,
Dude, I've played some CS:GO already.
it's been a
Dude, I
while
will
since I've been
play
back
that.
into that.
Dude.
Bixie's been playing Minecraft on the PC with some shaders. Some
Did ya?
shaders.
If PewDiePie's playing Minecraft, I'm playing Minecraft.
Dude, PewDiePie, the GOAT.
Minecraft is still the number one like watched game on YouTube. Still,
Dude, it's
Subscribe to
nuts.
PewDiePie and unsubscribe to T-Series.
yeah. Sub to PewDiePie.
Yeah, what are you doing?
And
T-Series
subscribe
is
to Nymore
botting,
Boys.
it's confirmed.
And Nymore Boys, why are you doing that?
Yep.
And Untamed Soldier.
On-Time Gaming. That's right.
We'll put the
Ooh,
link
change
in the
up.
description of the YouTube.
Thank
I
you,
always forget to put links in, so
I'll remind you.
oh well.
What were we talking
What was I
about?
gonna say? God, always
We're at
forget.
least 3
An
beers in and 2 shots, so just
Yeah, it's 4:00 in the afternoon,
Dude,
and we
I don't
are.
know, I'm
I
just
lost
like
my
so
rule.
interested. I should have I should have wrote down questions for Austin.
Yeah.
I really should have done that
Yeah.
more like interview like.
I guess a question too that that probably comes up. And just to disclaim, I'm not in the service at all, but Austin is, and Joey that we talked about. So shout out for you guys.
But you're like
service.
you're
Yeah,
like
thank you.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. You're kind of like a nerd for war stuff, though, aren't you?
And then I grew up in a military
that's-
family
yeah.
too, so
yeah,
I know.
so
that's
you know
true.
quite a bit. Because you've
Um,
always really been like. You always used to make me buy these war games that I never played.
No,
You're like,
yeah.
no, dude,
I'm
these
like,
things
come
are
on,
fun,
dude,
man."
play a strategy game with me or something. He's like, nah.
I finally bought that one, and then
Dude, yeah.
I played it for
You're-
like 30 seconds,
like,
and I
nope,
uninstalled it,
refund.
returned it.
That was the game I bought you with the knife I sold.
No, you bought me City Skylines. I still have that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said you've been playing. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is a
But-
fun game.
But anyway, I know maybe some people are curious. What was base life like when it was kind of your turn to take a load off?
Base life. So are you talking about just like
Just
living on
like
base?
Take a load off.
take a load off.
Took a few of
A
those,
little
but-
R&R.
Yeah,
well,
there's
there's
a
a story. There's a story
Gosh.
about
Like when you
about
do your
that
mission.
before he was out of high school. I'll leave that one off the record.
Oh, no.
though.
That's that
I
one
want-
is for
oh,
sure. No, that's
I don't
off the
know what you're talking
record.
about.
That's
That's off
staying
the record.
Don't worry.
We'll
That's-
talk
that'll
about
be
it,
off
but
the
you can maybe
record.
cut it out
Okay,
if you
well,
want to.
no,
That's off
it
the
was.
record.
you don't want to cut the podcast. We'll just bring it
It
up.
was
when
when
we're
we
done.
were
All right.
Off the record.
we were in a game
Off the
and
record.
we dared you to do something, and then you sent us pictures.
Oh no!
Oh, no. I know exactly what you're talking
that's
about
off
too.
the record.
That's off the record. We won't say
Yeah.
nothing, but
Okay.
Shoot,
okay.
that was so funny.
So I guess wording it like that. What was your off time like when you weren't working
Okay. In Hurlburt Field or back in Kuwait?
over in Kuwait?
Okay, so essentially we worked like, a regular shift over there because that's what we made it for ourselves. And if we needed to, if our commander, like anybody from our squadron that we were supporting, needed our assistance, we would just, answer our cell phones and go into work. But essentially my off time pretty much included studying and just sitting in my room and not doing a whole lot.
Studying what?
So I'm actually
Military
studying. Huh?
Military stuff or like what?
No, so I'm actually studying for my realtor license.
Oh,
Yeah, it's another topic.
Except for you want to sell in Florida, but like I was telling you
Yeah.
today,
money.
Florida, Minnesota, and North Dakota are in a. Of course, I'm not going to remember the word again, but essentially, if you're licensed in one of those 3 states, you don't have to take your classes again. Your classroom time can be applied, and all you have to do is take the state exam. You
What
don't
are
have
the
to
3 states
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
Minnesota, North Dakota, and Florida. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It starts with an R. No.
Rhode
Anyways,
Island.
But then, like, say since I'm licensed to sell real estate in Minnesota, and I wanted to get I wanted to get my Florida real estate license, I have to
Right.
take the state exam, and then I have to find a brokerage who wants to hold my license in Florida. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my broker in Minnesota can't hold my Florida license. I'd have to find a broker in Florida to hold my license.
That's
there.
interesting.
Okay.
But really, I could be licensed in all 3 states.
That's pretty cool.
Because
Right on the tip of my tongue.
that's interesting because like I said, that one guy that I talked
Reciprocity.
to,
That's what it is. A
Reciprocity.
reciprocity. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
interrupt much?
I'm sorry. I just remembered what it was. All right.
Thank you. But the guy that I talked to that was, like I said, that was really into the military and stuff, he said their days would kind of just go, it would revolve around the mission. So that mission could be 2
Yeah.
hours or it could be 6 or 8. It depends on what the mission is for that day. It could be something maybe like go to a checkpoint and just like check it out or something, or go check out like,
Yeah.
something
actually-
tiny. It could be something tiny, but that's your mission for the day. Is that true?
Yeah, so essentially, because of where I was at in the squadron that I supported, we heavily revolved around the mission. So, we had our hours that we were supposed to work, but that was very justifiable, given what was happening that day. So there was this one time where I spent, usually it's about 8 hours, which is pretty relaxed for the most part. But there was a day where I spent about 18 hours at work because like the network was down or something like that. Like there was no internet connectivity, and I was the one trying to troubleshoot that and stuff for like an additional 8 hours. So,
Dang.
but yeah, it all is dependent on the mission. So
So do you get paid like an hourly wage, or do you
Salary,
get paid
probably.
salary?
Yeah, I get salary.
Dang.
So
Cool.
yeah, it's nothing too crazy. You know, starting at like, so you have like E1 through E9, which is your pay grade.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it depends on like how qualified you are, or how much time you put in.
Exactly.
Type deal. Okay.
yeah,
Huh.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like a corporate ladder almost.
yeah. That's honestly, yeah, that's very similar.
Pretty
to
much what it is.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
So they probably have a pretty good router
pretty good router,
at that base.
dude. I'm talking
Yeah.
a big Cisco router. Nobody
They have
knows what that is.
GigaZone?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, honestly, like if you want to talk numbers, we had about 750 megabytes coming into the base.
Oh my god.
So
In a foreign country.
yeah,
How do you
Yeah.
get that there? Is it from the States?
no, it's from like the country itself. So
Dang.
yeah,
Broadband, and that's weird.
yeah, we had fiber lines. So fiber's just it's your internet.
That's what
coming on the-
GigaZone is. If anybody has GigaZone in Bemidji, you have fiber internet.
Yeah, so
Fiber optics.
Yep.
we had a couple fiber strands coming into the base, and that's where we pulled our primary and secondary services from.
Interesting.
Yeah, so essentially,
And you had like these big server rooms, basically.
That's how
yeah, but I didn't work in those, so I didn't get to see those
Sure.
because I was supporting the smaller squadron outside of like the main part of the base.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of weird stuff, but essentially, we had so many issues with the Kuwaiti government. They were doing road construction off the base, and these fiber lines ran parallel to this big road that they were doing construction on. So they were getting cut all the time, so cutting all services from
Dang.
all parts of the base. So
when you're on a mission, is your job kind of like, like let me know if I'm wrong, but is your job like, oh, okay, like check, like your comms are working, like we hear you, you hear us, like is
Yeah.
that kind of like you? That's what you guys were like, so everyone can talk to each other. That's what you were kind of.
yeah, generally, honestly, that's the majority of what my job is. If you were to give it a big header, but there's little things involved, such as like accounts, emails,
Sure.
fixing computers and all that kind of stuff. Printers.
So you guys use Gmail?
No, we use Outlook. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Microsoft.
yeah, it's all right. But
Just crazy encrypted.
yep,
You guys use Dashlane?
I don't even know what that is.
Shout out Dashlane.
It's just the
Sponsor.
password
Just
into the main email for the Air Force is Air Force 123.
Yeah, or password 123.
kidding. Dude. Oh my gosh.
It's COG.
What?
What is that? What's Trump's new like slogan? Because it can't be MAGA.
Keep
It's
America.
keep America
Keep America great again.
again.
Oh, Kaga.
Yeah, is it like COGA?
Jesus, I don't
I
know.
was gonna say it's something like that. We gotta keep America great. Or
Ugh,
the same. Nothing's gonna change.
that's funny.
What else did you want to talk about as far as
You guys
that
got a
goes?
YouTube channel out there?
Oh no. Okay, so yeah, I have Nord Online.
True. That's some old. That's throwing
Yeah,
it way back.
I
No, but okay. So when you're out there, so you have like a dorm room type setup.
yeah, like a barracks setup. So it's like just a big hallway, and you got rooms on either side going all
So
the
it's
way
like a
down.
dorm.
Yeah, that's essentially all it is.
So you have like a roommate.
So I had two roommates out there, and then for the most part it was just one roommate.
It's all warm.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking of something.
Oh man.
Keep
But yeah, for the most part it wasn't too bad. Like we had the lights off. We created like these little contained areas, so that way we could just block each
You had
other
a blanket for it in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did.
Have
Then-
movie nights under the blankets.
You know,
Why do you
some
guys
good
need so
movie
many
nights.
pillows? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know why that made me think of it, but remember Isaac? He talked about like the hockey house or how many guys you can fit in one room.
Yeah.
So
There was a question that somebody asked.
I lived
in the
in
last podcast.
I lived in like a house with a bunch of the guys I played with, and it was probably like 10, 12 guys in the house, maybe like 13. It was a ton of guys, and it was a bunch of rooms, and there's one really big room, and it had a bunch of bunk beds in it, so it's just like it looked like a barrack setup.
Oh no.
And when we got into this house, we took all of the Euros, every Euro on our team, we shoved them in that room, and we called it the barracks, and no one ever went in there. because we're like we didn't want to go in and talk to him. Like they just sat there and you could just hear him talking like Russian or something.
Derogatory. You were just like, we don't talk to them.
No, dude, like
Oh.
they're not obviously gonna like want to speak to us for the most part. They want to be with their Euro buddies. So like, we just shoved them in the big ass room with a bunch of bunk beds and called it the barracks, and we never went in there. We'd sometimes go in there.
Hey, Mitch, I need to ask you this question before I forget.
What?
Because last week, before last week's podcast, I asked on my Instagram for people to ask us questions. I totally forgot, but there's one that I want Mitch to answer. Tanner Turcotte said, "Show this only to Weber, the bowling alley story in Portland." So you want to explain to us what happened at the
What do you
bowling
gotta
alley in
say?
Portland?
Oh god, dude.
Uh-oh.
So a little backstory on this guy. He's a 2000 birth year, so I think he just turned 19. Anyway, this kid, absolutely beautiful kid, but he's just an absolute just nutty guy, right? And this kid was always in an upbeat mood. He just never had anything bad to say about anyone. And he was like our little minion. We get him to do all our shit because he was a rookie this year, and we get him to do all of our shit for us. And we were at a bowling alley in Portland, and like you had some guys because the Timberwolves were there. They were playing the Trailblazers that night because we had to go up to Washington, and we took a bus, or we went up there and we stopped in Portland for like a day or two because we had back-to-back road series because in the series you play 3 games. So we played Southern Oregon, and then we played like Bellingham the next week. So we're like, we're not going to go back to Tahoe just to drive 15 hours up to Bellingham. So we stayed in Portland, and half of the guys went to like the basketball game and half went to this bowling alley. And this kid just feeds TT. I know you're watching. He watched everyone. He feeds off the energy.
Shout
of
out
people.
Tanner.
He feeds off the energy of people, and if you can get him to do anything you want. He's like your little minion. And we
So you
had
just
him
peer pressure him into doing everything?
Yeah, we peer pressure him. We had him do a bunch of stupid shit at this bowling alley. We had him like
No.
steal a sign, like all this fucked up shit.
Wait,
and then,
what?
Yeah, he like stole a sign out of the bowling alley. Like it was fucked up. And like I don't know if he had like any strange brew in him or not. I don't remember. But yeah, this kid he stole a sign, and he was just like, I think they may, I don't remember if they kicked us out or not of the bowling alley. But this kid was like, he did it all with such a huge smile on his face. And after that, we were just like, my God, what did we just do? What did we have this poor kid do? Because, like I said, he was a rookie and he was a 2000. He wasn't even he was like 17 at the time. And we're like, dude, we just basically violated this poor kid.
Somebody's gonna clip this and make some weird stuff. We violated this.
Yeah.
But it
Mitch
was
is
like,
going down.
it was like, dude, like, we got back to the hotel, we're like, holy fuck. Like, this cannot happen again. And it was, there's more I could say, but I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but it was just, oh my God, it was so slimy. And it's funny, too, about this Tanner Turcotte kid. He comes from a really big family. It's the Turcotte family in hockey, and his cousin just got drafted 4th overall in the draft by the Kings. So he was the 4th pick.
Wow.
So, like, his cousin's name is Alex Turcotte, and, like, I played with his cousin. But, yeah, it's crazy because they run, like, a Turcotte hockey school, so it's just crazy. Like, they go all over the place and do, like, stick handling camps and shit.
Huh.
His uncle won, like, a Stanley Cup, and then...
They're bringing it to Bemidji?
Well, his uncle,
city
it
rink?
was when Montreal was, like, good. So, like, before, I think, the Ice
Are they
Age.
from Montreal?
No, like, the family's Canadian. But this kid lives down in Huntington Beach, and he's always trying to get me to come hit him up down there, so I might take up his offer and go down to HB one of these days. But, Spit and Chicklets podcast, right?
Uh-huh.
This is like a hockey podcast with some ex-NHL players, and there's another guy named Paul Biznasty. They post stuff up on their Instagram, like clips of their podcast, and they had a screenshot of the NHL draft. And it's Alex Turcotte sitting next to his uncle, which is Alfie, which is the one that won the cup. And this is before the kid's about to get selected. His life's about to change. His uncle was next to him with his fist up his own nose, digging for gold.
Oh,
And the screenshot was everywhere. And Alex was like sitting there. He didn't even know he was like digging or nothing like that.
Oh no.
And this guy was fist deep in his
Can
nose.
you
like,
imagine
picking
you're-
his nose
You're
next
on
to his...
national TV right before the thing that'll change your
Oh.
life forever, and your uncle's fucking knuckle deep in his nose.
I'm like, dude. And Tanner's
Oh,
like,
no.
dude, that was my Uncle Alfie. I was digging his nose next to Alex. I was like, my God, dude, that's so embarrassing. Like, you're...
That's so funny.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, so...
Oh my goodness.
No, so it's just pretty stupid. Like, he's a funny kid for sure, but yeah, he's done some crazy shit. Good kid, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about him for sure.
Wow,
God.
what a trip.
God, y'all initiated the fuck out of him.
We did. It was, and he was
Jesus.
actually my line mate, and he was more of a skill guy because he's from the Turkoff family, and I'm not so much of a skill guy. You know how it is. So
You're the brute force, right?
yeah, I was just a grinder. Kind of did a little two-way forward action. You know, I kind of
we're already at almost an hour again.
Jeez.
dude, I'm fine with that.
But speaking of Mitch, I remember when we were in high school. I remember this very vividly. We're in Crookston.
This
We're
is
on
not
the
true.
penalty kill. And I said, Mitch, don't hit anybody from behind. Puck drops. It's on that board. Mitch goes from this side, like the left side of
Correct
the circle, straight at this guy, smokes him from behind. Literally 10 seconds after I told him that. Gets
For the
kicked out.
record, this kid
No.
was a pussy.
No. No.
He saw me coming
you
and he turtled up
absolutely-
like a fucking pansy, dude.
And then the
No,
rep was
you
like,
absolutely.
and I threw him up. I almost threw him up into the third row as a
No,
high schooler.
Your shoulder went directly right in between his shoulder blades.
Wow.
And I was like, I got booed. I was like, buddy, that kid's fucking soft. Like, don't boot me for this. And sure as shit, they boot me. But yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't until after high school until I was like, you know, why am I trying to be a skill guy? I'm not a skill guy.
You're a goon.
I wasn't a goon, but you know, if I had to answer
was
the
a goon.
if I had to
Yeah.
answer the bell for a fight, I would.
Did you ever fight?
Yeah.
Drop the gloves?
Yeah, a couple times, for sure. But yeah, my coach from Tahoe was like, Weber, you're not a skill guy. He's like, why are you sitting here trying to backhand toe someone? Like you are, and it was just funny because like I love that coach and like best coach I've had ever. But it was just funny because he was brutally honest with me all the time. He's like, you got size. He's like, just drive wide on the guy every time. So eventually I was like, okay, like this year I just locked in and understood my role. I would eat pucks. I'd fight if I had to. Penalty kill, stuff like that.
Just a
But it was-
scrapper.
it was funny because, like I said, TT, we call him TT. He was the skill guy, so my job was to get him the puck,
Yeah.
right? And he was kind of the one that put up points. And I got some easy points, by the way,
See?
dishing him the puck. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
He's the one who gets all the girls.
and
He's
he would
the one who
he
takes
would-
all
See,
the
do
hits.
you remember the movie Goon? This is exactly, he's reading out the plot
Yep.
right now.
and he jokes about this today. He's like, Weber, he's like, you and me are fucking skill guys. I'm like, fucking right, bud. Yeah, dude, that kid had wheels, man.
Oh.
Every time we go on a roadie, he talked to chicks all the time, and he'd get them to come to our game. We were up in Idaho one time, and I was sitting
Idaho,
next to him. Yeah, Idaho is actually like really pretty. It's a lot cooler than you think, and I was shocked. But we were up there. And
talking,
What?
Are you talking pretty like landscape?
yeah, it's
Pretty girls.
not pretty girls.
Oh,
Oh,
I kind of
okay.
figured.
But we were up there, and I was like, hey, T, like, go talk to those chicks over there. Like, see what you can do. He goes over there, just talks to, like, these three chicks who actually weren't bad looking. Comes back and, like, what they say. He's like, well, I got them to come to our game tonight, and they said they want to wear your jersey and they want to wear my jersey, so we have to pick our home jersey and give it to them for the game. I was like, buddy, I didn't say they could wear my jersey. He's like, come on, Weber. He's like, be a beauty for me.
Be a beauty.
I was like, no, like, I don't know these chicks. Like, they're going to walk off with my jersey, my home jersey, and I'm going to have to tell my coach about it. But, yeah, and then one time we were at an airport because sometimes we'd fly to games, and there was this chick who was an absolute smoke at an airport, and she must have been 25, 26. Like, this kid's 17.
Oh, wow.
This kid never cared. We're like, dude, T, go up and talk to that chick. He's like, actually? We're like, yeah. Goes up there, comes back, has her Instagram. They follow each other still, and I think he got her Snapchat. And it's just stupid because, like I said, she had no idea this kid's like 17, and he comes up just wheeling. And his catchphrase for everything was, or his line, you know, his pickup line that he talked to these chicks with is, yeah, I'm from Huntington Beach, you know, like I'm a surfer down there. Like,
Oh my god.
which he surfs.
Oh, no.
He surfs, he does. But he's like, yeah, like you could come down sometime. I could show you how to surf, like down at my like beach house. And you know, obviously, like the chicks, like they're gonna dig that. So, but it's just funny. The kid had wheels like I've never seen before. It was absolutely hilarious. But again, shout out to you, TT. And that's kind of all I have to say because I want to save a lot of these Tahoe stories for when we go to Montreal with
Yeah,
Phil and
'cause
JP.
We'll have Phil and JP on the podcast. That'll be
So that'll be interesting. I want to save a lot of those stories for that.
That'll
'cause
be
they got
absolutely
some funny
rowdy.
ones, dude.
What, Tyler, are you? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Were you?
You're
done
good.
with that? I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
you're
what are
good.
we at for time?
we are at 1 hour on the nose.
Is there anything you want us? I was gonna say there's probably 3 things from the road trip that we have. If
Yeah,
you
Oh,
wanna
go ahead.
yeah,
talk
dude,
about
I
that.
forgot it.
I'm going to go to the bathroom really fast.
Okay.
Okay.
Big C, jump in.
You want to come in for a little bit?
Big C will be my intern while I take a pee.
All right.
So this guy right
Here comes Big C. Hold
He's
on.
just gonna
He's
be
a
the eye
unit.
candy.
Here he is.
Look at him. Here he comes.
Say hi.
What's up, boys?
Oh my God, look at him.
Okay.
What's up?
Yeah, keep that
Really
mic
right
close.
next
These
to your
mics are really
mouth, Big
sensitive,
C.
but
You
they're
gotta hold it like real close.
like
Oh,
that's
Close.
too far.
You almost gotta
It's too
lick
far?
it.
You gotta
Yeah.
have it this
I was
close.
gonna say you could
This
see.
close?
Almost
Yeah,
where
there
you're
you
like
go.
eating
There
the
you go.
fucking thing.
Okay.
You remember Riley Reed?
Are you professional with
Oh,
things to your
no.
mouth?
Should we get her on the
Yeah.
podcast?
Oh,
All right,
I
so
want her putting her mouth on
so
the mics.
start with the roadie because we're gonna go off the Riley Reid thing.
Okay.
Start with the roadie. You flew down, correct?
I flew down to meet him, and then we roadied all the way back.
Yeah.
I've done that once. You fly down just to drive the car back
Yep.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. Gosh, it was a long road trip. 24 hours is about on the nose. So
24 hours right on the
So
nose.
from start to finish, what did you do when you landed? Did you guys hang out a little bit or what?
Well, yeah, we I landed in Pensacola after a layover, and so I flew out of Bemidji to MSP, MSP obviously being Minneapolis to Georgia, Atlanta, huge airport.
That's a busy airport, boy.
Yeah.
Well, the worst thing was I had a 20-minute delay on the tarmac in Minneapolis,
You had
so
to
I
book,
had 40
eh?
minutes to buck in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
I made it there, but what you do is I was all the way over in A&T concourse is the domestic flights, and I had to run. But they have a tunnel to get to the other side. Tyler coming back out here, trying to distract me.
You go through the
Tyler?
Atlanta airport.
Yeah. So I went underground to run to the other side of the airport to get to the domestic terminals. And then I made it just as they were like announcing like Delta Comfort and all their stuff for their premium members to get on the plane first.
Done, Big C?
Pause you
Bye,
one-
Big C.
Pause you 1 minute. Big
Yeah,
C,
thanks for
you
joining
did
us,
an
Big C.
absolute
Thank you.
smashing job.
Thank you
Shout
for
out
that.
Big C.
I couldn't
All
have
of
seen
his
a better
links are gonna
Tyler
be in the
myself.
video.
I couldn't have seen a better Tyler myself.
Yep. So shout out Big C for being my interim podcast host for the 3 seconds I was in the bathroom.
Good job.
Yeah.
But
So continue. I'm sorry. You had a couple interruptions here.
So after that, Atlanta to Pensacola, it was like an hour flight. Longest one was Minneapolis to Atlanta, which was like 2.5. So most of it was waiting in the airport. But anyway, not to go on off a tangent of wasting time there, but flew into Pensacola. I waited like 5 or 6 minutes outside, and granted, it was like just soup. You walk into soup when you walk outside. It must have been like just numbers you can come up with, 200% humidity, and you believe it because it was just thick.
it's like you're walking through a humidifier.
Oh,
Yeah,
just a sauna all the time. So I waited outside for 6 minutes, and then he pulled up in his just 2017 beautiful Volkswagen GTI.
Dude, I love that car so much.
It was amazing. I didn't know it was him. I'm like, Austin, when did you become a high roller? And he's like, you know.
You know.
But
yeah, Austin's out here balling.
Dude,
so Pensacola,
it's
that
Air
was an
Force
hour
money.
drive back to near Fort Walton.
yeah.
Is that east of Fort Walton?
No, so it's east
So
of the
it's
base.
west from. So you drive, and
So
we
you
were, like,
live
right
in
along the
Pensacola?
water.
No,
Is it
so I live. So Pensacola's out west, more towards Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I
Some
live
Brandon.
about an hour east of Pensacola.
Some brand.
So when you go back there, you're gonna have to commute an hour a day, one way. for
No,
work?
so it's about a 7-minute drive from me. So Hurlburt Field is like just west of where I live. Just
Oh.
like just
But that was the only domestic airport I could
Oh,
fly
Pensacola
into.
is-
It was Pensacola,
Ah.
and then
Yeah.
we drove back to his house, which was an hour.
So you
Yeah.
live in like a smaller city.
yeah.
like-
Fort Walton Beach isn't that big. It's a decent size.
Is
but-
it like about the size of Bemidji or a little bit bigger?
Yeah, I would say a little bit less than that.
A little less than Bemidji?
Yeah, it was pretty small.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
But other than that, we got in a pretty decent time. I mean, we obviously drove in like 11:45, I think, to your house.
Yeah, it was super late. We got back and
I was starving, but
so I had some
he
pasta
was for the
in
boys,
the
and
fridge.
he made me food
yeah.
like beforehand and like put in the fridge, and I was like ready to eat when I
was
got
like,
there.
Here you go, man.
So
Oh,
I ate.
what?
We hung out for a
Austin,
little
the
bit.
housewife.
Dude, you come over, I'll put on the kitchen apron for you. And stuff.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
So
Yeah.
I ate. I literally jumped into bed because
Yeah.
trying to
Jumped into
sit
bed with him.
comfortably.
Big spoon, little spoon.
You know who
No.
Big Spoon was, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Get that king size.
because you cannot,
Oh.
I cannot sleep on a flight. I did get a
Heart-shaped
nice
bed.
little nap, but
Circle bed.
Some Dumb and Dumber looking bed.
Austin had candles lit and rose petals on the.
You can't sleep on a flight?
I think I
I can't
napped
either.
for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Oh,
Because
dear.
Oh,
people,
that's
I
rough.
can't have people that I like just touch next to me.
Dude, I don't give a
Kills me.
fuck. I'll be in the middle seat next to two fat
I
Did you,
asses.
got-
did you bring that Chromebook with you?
I did.
Did it work?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Lit.
I was actually, when I was in the airport, I was typing up stuff for my architecture firm. I was doing some things that we had to write up for the building official.
Nice.
Just getting the notes down. No.
Oh, my God.
But other than that, so get back on track.
All right.
We slept.
Yeah.
We
Together.
I gotta together.
No,
It was really
I-
comfy.
I had a spare bedroom for him, so.
I slept till like 9 or something. We had some breakfast. Just kind of hung out.
All right, get on with it. Here.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You fucking-
we don't need a play-by-play. of what
Okay.
you
All
did.
right. So
You go and
we
jerk
got on the
off.
road.
Get back.
We got on the road at about what
4:30 in the
4:30,
afternoon.
but we left a little bit sooner so we could go see the museum and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But after that, we put the rubber to the pavement at 4:30,
Just
and
the shit
then
that he says. The rubber's always on the pavement.
so we started bucking, and then you drove for the first 2.5 hours.
Yo, you're
Uh-oh,
getting them
Austin's
going, don't you?
gigging.
Oh, he's gigging.
Uh-oh, Big C's gigging back
Oh, you
on the
got him
camera
going
too.
now.
Uh-oh.
Look what she did.
You can't have me tell a story and not give in some of those details, but okay. Back on track.
Leave it to Nick to always come out with the most random things to say. Rubber to the pavement about 4:30, but we went a little early so we can go to the museum.
Humidity was at about 80%. I remember that specifically.
Yeah.
Birds were chirping. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, all right, I'm sounding
I
like
had
now.
You
half a
guys
glass
are
of orange
really
juice for breakfast.
dragging this on now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sounding okay.
So, yeah, because I remember the first couple hours you were driving, we got an hour down the road before someone kicked up the smallest rock and put a crack in his windshield.
Yeah.
That's a
I
shitty
was,
start.
I was so
Oh.
pissed. We were listening. Actually, I think we were coming close to listening. No, we were listening to the podcast, actually.
Yeah, we were
And
listening
Let's
to the
go.
podcast.
Nymore Boys is worldwide now.
And I was like, I see something just appear in the flash of like the corner of my eye. And
happened
it was
in the
this
blink of
big
an
ass
eye.
crack, just a 12-inch crack across my windshield. It's like, what the fuck? And
Ew.
we had to put this thing on pause and was like, dude, what the hell am I doing? Like, what's going on here? And then
It's a reality check.
He just
What am I doing
life
here?
flashed before his eyes because he got a crack in his windshield. He's like, wait
it
a
was
minute.
so goofy. It appeared out of nowhere. We're like, what the fuck is that?
Didn't you hear anything hit your windshield?
no, it was so quiet.
The podcast was, we were bucking on the podcast.
Oh, yeah,
and we were
that's
just
true.
having a grand old time.
And
Yeah.
then you get that fat ass crack. And you would,
God.
So, what was the next weirdest thing? That was in, I guess, all the way. Alabama was.
You said
very-
you wanted to talk about Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alabama was uneventful because you drove through most of that.
Yeah,
'Cause I
that
took
was
first
nothing.
shift to sleep. So we got into Tennessee because we needed gas and we just had to have a break.
First shift.
And so we get out of the car, and to mention, there are just 2 police officers posted at this gas station. No cop car in sight. They are just
You're
there
in Nashville, or
in
Yeah.
Nashville. They're just there to keep the peace. We walk in. Well, first off, there's 2 people just sitting there just working on this car. I'm like, okay. We walk in. We get some food. We were bored and we got some scratch offs, so we were just like killing time because we just have been driving forever.
Yeah.
We get back into our car to do these scratch offs, and we look over, and there are people twerking on their Camaro in this parking lot.
nice. Were they shooting a music video?
They should have been.
They were looking at something over there, but I looked. I'm like, nope, it's been too long of a day. It's been too much driving. I can't do this right now.
Nick just doesn't like when people twerk.
No.
he only likes when Austin twerks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, no.
So when Austin started twerking, and then Nick was like, all right, this is way better.
So after that, we went in, cashed our lottos, and then because we won some money, and then as we were walking out, this drunk guy, he's like, "Hey, I need something to drink. Can you guys help me out?" Like, oh man, I mean, we literally just spent all this money. He didn't even let us finish, and he just walked off. We were like, okay, that was easy enough, and we got the hell out
Gave
of
him
there.
money?
No.
No.
As soon as
no.
we said, oh, we just spent all this money, he didn't even let us finish. He
You
just,
like pull it out of your pocket. You're like, sure, take one of these on the road for you.
I should have flipped him.
I don't know. He couldn't even
Here, let me
stare me
grab-
straight in the
let me grab
eyes. This
some
guy
for
was
ya.
just so gone at that point.
Yeah, just pull one
Yeah.
of those.
No, but
we were there 15. We were like, we got to get out of here. The traffic was shitty. People suck at driving. It was we bucked.
Yeah.
And then the last thing was driving through, I think, Illinois. Somebody in front of us, because we were in and out of traffic. That car was pretty speedy. And we got stuck behind somebody, and they kicked up a piece of rubber or rock, and it landed right on his Volkswagen emblem and cracked it.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, it was 2 for 2 at this point. I was just pissed, and it's like, dude, why did we do this road trip at this point? Because now I'm just paying for
His
it.
morale was down when that window crack
Yeah.
happened. He's like, oh.
But
What
you
am I
have glass
doing?
insurance, don't you?
Yeah,
He's getting
so
it
Florida does free windshield replacement every year anyways.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. I found that out and was like, oh, shoot. I mean,
So
but
why don't
my-
you just wait till you get back and get it replaced?
well, so Geico covers it for free
Oh.
for me, so.
well,
Might as well
normally-
use it for Geico now. And
Yeah.
you get your free windshield replacement later.
Ooh, true. It doesn't matter either way. Like, it's going to get fixed. So,
Oh, we get cracked again.
yeah, I'm going to get it fixed this week because it's just spreading. Like, it went from 12 inches to almost, 18 inches now. It's like, dude, my windshield's going to be gone by the end of the week, so.
So it's cracked. You'll get it fixed.
Austin's just going to be driving the Flintstone mobile.
And then he'll be driving back down to Florida.
Some foot power.
And then it'll crack again. And then he can use his Florida free windshield
There you
replacement.
go.
Just
Yeah,
get two
when I want
windshields.
to,
you imagine?
take a bat to it next year.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
True. He fucks that thing up.
Dude, oh, man.
So
yeah.
you were in Illinois and then the logo cracked.
Yeah, I think that's when that car kicked something up and just nailed
Way
the
up in
vehicle.
there.
We're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that
Here
was
we go.
that was about the last thing that happened, and then pretty soon we're just taking the last stretch. I think I went from 6 hours. It was like 11 at night to about 5 in
You
the
went
morning.
from 11 to 5, and he woke me up. He's like, I cannot go anymore. You need to drive. I'm like, okay.
It was rough. I was seeing things. I was hallucinating, man. Like shit was getting real.
You want
and
to
it
tell
was-
them what you were on?
Oh yeah. So I popped 2
Some
caffeine
Addy.
pills. So I had
popped-
2 pep.
Oh, I thought you were going to pop Addies.
Yeah.
Dude,
Pop
I
Addy.
wish that would have helped. That would have helped
Addies
big
helps.
time.
Caffeine pills, like
two
the ones you just
caffeine
buy at like,
pills?
Yeah,
like
just
a gas
some.
station.
I think it's like Vivarin or something like that. Yeah, no, I popped 2 of those. I had about 3 or 4 Red
Just
Bulls,
accidentally
and
pops
then
like
I
a
had
Viagra
a
or
5-hour
something.
energy.
When he told me
Nick
that, I was
wakes up
surprised.
and he's just hard as a rock.
Shut up.
That'll keep
We're like, why didn't you get any Viagra too? No, when he had those caffeine pills in him, he was like, he was going off. He's like, whoa, yeah.
Dude, I was feeling it.
Stupid
Oh, he
asses.
was-
Jeez.
just the smallest sound, and he would go off. Like I would just make like a little, and he would just laugh out loud because he was.
Well, it's pretty easy to get him going. So.
Yeah.
Even in general, yeah, it's easy to get him going.
No, yeah, but then we finished up that. I mean, the last 3-hour stretch was just forever.
Well, that what feels long
Oh,
going through
yeah.
Wisconsin,
it was
eh?
so long.
We were so desperate to get back, and it's like, dude, I can't do this car trip anymore.
And I still got to drive home tonight, so more driving for me.
Yeah, that's
Bonus is that we get an extra person on the way to
True.
Montreal. It
Yeah.
was just you two, which is impressive.
Well, on the way there, we're
True.
stopping in Toronto. So, I mean, 17 hours one way. It's
you
kind
got
of
to
a long
stop.
time, but
You got 3 people. Yeah.
Dude,
I could probably drive at least close to Canada.
if you guys want, I could lock in the whole time.
Well, no, I mean, we're taking my car. I'm fine with driving as long as somebody's awake. If somebody, if everyone's sleeping in the car, then I'll fall
Plus,
asleep.
my sleep skills is pretty bad. So
Yeah, I saw that. I'm surprised that we actually ended up getting you here because I saw when I woke up this morning, I looked on Snap Maps at 8 and it said you were on Snapchat at 4 hours ago. So
sounds about right.
Oh no.
I actually did wake up at 4:30 and then fell back asleep. So were you just going to bed?
Yeah,
Damn.
So he can pull the early morning.
I can do it if I want to.
Well, even in high school, there was one time you stayed up for 2.5 days straight, didn't you?
Yeah, I was.
Dude, you were fucked.
yeah, not my best days for sure.
Who was at my house when we played Counter-Strike for 24 hours straight, basically?
Alex.
That's
I
got to
could
be
just
Were
Alex.
you there? I know
I-
Mitch was there.
I might have been there.
But you're saying who stayed up all night?
We all did.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think
Everyone who
Alex
was there,
did
we
not go to sleep that
Everyone.
night.
Well, because I remember we stayed up and then we went to McDonald's to get breakfast at 5 in the
Ooh.
morning or something, and then we came back and I went upstairs to get a glass of water. I came down and Mitch is on the ground, laid flat out like this with his headset still on, totally zonked out, just in the middle of the floor. He was straddling the desk chair. He had his legs on both sides of it, just
Yeah,
Totally
just
out.
cold cock.
Rip Mitch.
Yeah, he was absolutely
Dude.
cold cocked.
Oh, my
no.
God.
He had like a T Martin video on like full
Oh
blast.
no.
I was trying to stay awake, and I was like, I'm out like a light.
He was up playing a game. I went upstairs, got a glass of water, came back down, and he was totally cold cocked, out like a light bulb. Like could not get him to wake up.
Out
Dude.
like a light.
Oh my God, bro. Yeah, big. Remember the one time we pulled all night and went to McDonald's the next day? Yeah, it was gigs, dude. Yeah, I've
What, were
definitely.
you guys gaming too?
Yeah, I've pulled too many all nighters, man. I've pulled.
Big C, what's your favorite game out right now?
Right now,
Still playing Battlefield 1? For it's a fun game. Didn't you get that game?
I did.
I only
played
like to play
Battlefield
good
1, and
games.
then when BF5 came out, I played that.
I like
Netcode's
BF5.
garbage.
Yeah,
That game's
Netcode's
a
bad.
pile. But I still play it.
I'll just put this on the record before we wrap things up. Nick can absolutely fly off the chains in about 3 seconds when it comes to video games. He could be laughing happy and then like break his monitor the next 2 seconds. So
Bipolar.
very much so.
Dude, yeah.
All right, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap things up? We are at an hour and 16 minutes already.
No,
That's
it's
like
great
the
being here.
yeah.
Enjoyed my time here back in Minnesota.
Yeah, Austin,
so
thanks for
hack.
jumping on the podcast while you're in town.
yeah, pack
Get a pack out,
pack
boys.
it for the boys.
You pack it?
I can't pack it.
Big
It's all right,
C?
we'll teach you.
Oh my.
No.
Damn it.
That's right.
Hey,
3
Big
for
C,
5.
where should people go?
Oh.
They're
Yep,
empty.
that's right. NymoreBoys.com. Go and check it out. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, what are you doing?
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. Follow us on all of our social medias. It's Nymore Boys across the board, or just type in Nymore Boys on the Google search. We'll show up.
Austin.
Anything else you guys want to add?
Copy some merch at
Yep.
nymoreboys.com.
Yep, that's right.
Pretty
Thank
nice
you.
sweaters.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
Bud Light, please sponsor us, and see you in the next one.
Later.
Later.
See you.